Am I in?
You are in.
Hear ya.
Can I get any props on this Zappa porn stash right now?
And like, okay, all right, we're gonna get we're gonna get into that, Phil, because
Anything on this right now? Come on.
I knew you as a musician, I just checking out, stuff. I knew that, part of Panic Boom's deal was you were working on a documentary, or you are working
Yeah,
on a documentary.
that's right.
But I figure, I got to do a little bit more digging on both of you guys. Let me see what's going on. Surely there must be something else going on. And then I see with you, Phil, you got your own dang line of sex toys.
Well, that's years ago, actually. But yes, I did. At one point, I had my wedding tackle, if you will. I had it molded. To tell you how bad my sex life is, my dildo is discontinued. Thank you very much.
Well, that wasn't a cast based on you, was it?
It was. I actually I put my junk into some of that dental stuff that they make the dental implants like out of, that disgusting paste.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they use. And
So it was yours.
Awkward. It was awkward. Yeah. I mean, what do you say to the guy that's doing it? Because you have 3 minutes. He's got to hold this tube while you put your schlong in it. And yes. And it's a lot of small talk. Or big talk, whatever. Thank you. I'm feeding you these lines, Chris. Chris,
come on, man. You're like,
he's opting out.
He's like, I thought we were talking about Panic Boom, man.
Chris,
what is this?
He already lived this movie. He doesn't want to go back into this.
Yep. I've seen the previews. I've seen the whole feature. You got it.
Oh my God, that's so funny. All right,
First
guys.
of all, can we guess who the Irish guy is on this screen right here? I have a coffee. Let's see your beverage. Gov, let's see what's happening. There's the Irish.
Hi, Corona.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I haven't had a beer in a few weeks.
Mexican beer, the Irishman.
You got to have the burr.
See, now I'm drinking scotch these days. That's what I'm doing.
Nice. Well, that's nice.
Oh, well done.
Yeah.
I got my blue Macallan downstairs.
See, I'm cheap, man. I'm
that
drinking.
A car? Thank you.
I'm drinking Kirkland, man. I'm slumming it.
But I get the one bottle of blue and it lasts me about a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's good return on investment.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. All right. So everybody, I'm Scotty J. Welcome back to Rock Titan Live. And there is no need to panic these days. There's no need to panic. But if you have to experience any kind of panic at all, it might as well be Panic Boom, because I am here with Phil Varone and Chris McLernon. And you probably know these dudes from Saigon Kick back in the day.
Never heard
still
of them.
jams with them. Yeah, right? But, of course, Hostile Youth, I was telling Chris a little while ago, that's still on my workout playlist. But
nice.
Yes, sir. Yes. But now we're talking about Panic Boom. And I guess this has been a brainchild of yours, Phil, for a while, huh?
Well, in '94, it is when it started. And we were, I had left Saigon Kick for the 50th time, I think. 60th? I don't know.
That year.
That year, that week. No, when I left the band, I immediately called my friends, Tony Cortese being one of them, and he's a guitar player who was gracious enough to allow me to play drums in his band in 1982, 83, and I was god awful. I never even played before, and I played around, but he was very patient with me. He's a very patient man. And I called him, and then I called Randy Bates, and then Chris, and before long, you got Sean in there, and we had this band in '94. We did some demos for Atlantic. They passed on it, which is good, actually, because 25 years later, we decided to, I asked them if they would mind re-recording a song, being Revolution, that we had written in '94. To do for the 30 years of drummer documentary that I have coming out. They were gracious enough to say yes. And then all of a sudden COVID hit and the floodgates opened for songwriting. And here we are today. We had a full 14 songs now, Chris, roughly.
Yeah, something like that, if not a little more.
Okay. And that's really was the birth of it. And as we say, you never leave the band. You check in, you don't check out. So 25 years later, we just pick it right up. No big deal.
Okay, so the lineup you were then is still the lineup that you are now. All the same personnel.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Lifelong friends. And that's what makes it special. Everybody is 30 plus years we've known each other, and yeah, it makes it really fun. And because this is our, I don't want to say it's a hobby, but it's our project, that we're not under pressure from anybody. No labels, no, somebody has to sell a song so they can feed their kids. This is just fun. We're having a good time doing it, and we're using all our knowledge from the past 30 years and putting it into it. And yeah.
Now, I'm so glad you brought that up, Phil, in terms of, not having the pressure on you, just doing this for the love, for the fun of it, like there's no necessary deadlines. You're not beholden, like you said, to a record label or anything like that. Do you think because of those variables being eliminated from the equation, if you will, does that allow you, do you think the quality maybe of the work that you're producing these days musically may even be better than, say, if you did have those, different elements of pressure put on you?
Well, I think, Chris is producing everything too, which is kind of cool. And Chris is mixing and producing the songs and the record. And I believe that we have become such great players over our time, and we have played together so long. Chris and I have, with Saigon Kick,
right.
But we are playing for one another. That's what's making it great. We're not playing for anybody. We're doing it for us. I couldn't wait to play a drum track so I could send it to Chris or Randy, our singer, and just get that, I can't believe how great this was. And Chris does the same. The playing on this is spectacular because we're playing for each other. And because there's no stress on it, and there's no time frame, it just, it's really more of it's a joy to play. We're not stressed at all, to play it. I mean, probably Chris, you probably have the most stress because he's got to mix the damn thing.
Yeah,
but I mean, other than that,
that's a lot of work. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
But what's cool about it is that, like Phil said, there's nobody from the label breathing down my neck saying I need a mix tomorrow. When it's done, and then we do something with it, as opposed to, no, it better be done now. And sometimes you don't get your best work out of that, and then it's on a label, and you regret it because you're stuck with it.
It's less expensive too.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah,
well,
and the label likes to recoup their expenses.
Chris works cheap, so that's good.
So do I, man. So
we'll probably get a bill though. We'll probably get a bill at some point.
It'll be reflected in the invoice, no doubt.
Yeah, and let me just say this about Chris: he does not release it before it's time. Just so you know. You even try to ask him for a rough mix, you will get the middle finger. He does not. He protects that thing, but when you get it, it's like Christmas. It's worth the wait. So, and I think that's what's fun about it too, because we don't dare ask for anything early because we know better. And even though Chris, I've known Chris, being in a band together, Randy will call me and go, hey, you think you can call Chris and get, I was like, no, I'm not calling him. No. That's bad. So yeah, we wait anxiously for it. But again, as Chris said, there's no time frame on it. We just say, you want to release it? All right, whatever you mix it, let's do it. No big deal.
Right. So Revolution is out right now. And you're holding the rest of those tracks hostage for how long, Chris? How long?
Totally hostage. Well, actually, I'm working on the mix of the next single now.
Okay.
But I was saying hoping to have everything by in mid-February, early March.
Okay. All right.
So you told me next week, man. That's right.
Well, I know.
So Panic Boom is the title of the album, though. So it's your self-titled album coming out,
right.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Now, I know that with Revolution, you got the official music video out there. Now, in the different screens, everybody, I encourage you, too. If you haven't heard or watched the official music video for Revolution, which is going to be on Panic Boom's debut album, go out and check it out. Because it's very, very cool. It's well done. I like it. It was like, it reminded me of MTV in the 80s, the way you had all the different TV screens in there and everything like that. And now I'm guessing that was Randy singing in a lot of those frames?
Yes, that's right. Chris produces the songs and mixes, and I direct and edit the videos.
You edit the videos? You did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yes.
did. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually an editor in real life. I play one on TV as well. No,
Wow.
yeah. So when I told the concept to the boys, and everything we do, it goes, is a band. We talk as a band, and I pass when I even on the rough edits of the video, there's certain copy in there and content that I run past the band and get the input from the band, obviously, because this is going to represent us. And so yeah, the idea of it was the concept is that we're just inundated by news and information. A lot of it's wrong, a lot of it's we don't even know if it's right or not. It could be right, and it's television 24 hours a day. And so I just made basically 9 screens and covered the last 2 years during the pandemic and what we've been kind of exposed to, and how we're reacting, how the human reacts in general, how we're disconnected with our phones, how we have the world at our fingertips, but yet we don't know people, or we're disconnected. And that was the idea of it, is to kind of go along the lines. There's political stuff in there, but in no way are we talking about what party we're affiliated with. That's not what it's about.
Right.
It's a neutral thing. In fact, Chris helped me when we did the menu for the parties. I sent over, and Chris helped me on words, because we wanted to make sure that there was nothing on there that said what we believe. It was about the viewer that made their own interpretation, because that's what music is, isn't it? I mean, when you listen to a song, you would ask 5 different people, they have 5 different things what they feel about the song. The video, I think, as well. And I put a news ticker in there that was initially in the chorus only, but Bass over Bass from Shinedown, who's good friends with ours and lives right by Chris.
Oh,
he was watching the video, and he goes, "Yeah, tell Phil to put the ticker through the whole thing." And I was like, "Fine, I'll do this for him to give him a help up in his career, because he has nothing going on." And
right.
and I was like, "I hate when people are right." So yeah, that was I'd like to take credit for all of it, but I think that with art, the great part is that you listen to people and you collaborate. And if anybody knows something about success, it would be Shinedown and Eric Bass. So we did it that way, and so it wasn't supposed to be a lyric video per se throughout the whole thing. It was only in the chorus, but then it turned into that. And I think it's really kind of cool, because people are praising that part of it, where it's like, oh, this is like a great way to incorporate lyrics in a news ticker that's not as obvious as a thing. But yes, and then Randy, I wanted to bring him up and do some more, some talking head stuff, and make him kind of demigodish for the mice in the maze sections and stuff like that. So yeah,
Okay.
so that was the concept behind it. And what I love about it especially is that it's something that I built and created out of my rotten brain with the help of these boys, and everything in there is like, built and original for us, like you're not going to find it anywhere. I feel I'm pretty proud of that. And again, I can't do everything without the help of people. That was what's so cool about this. This band is about a band. That's it. We're 5 guys, man, 5 decisions. And except for Sean, we don't care what he has to say. But I mean, thank you. But we really are. It's been a pleasure. So Chris and I were talking about the next video, because as we said, he's mixing the song right now, which is one of my favorite songs on the record. It's a monster. Yeah. And we were talking about concept on that video. So I'm looking forward to getting that thing together. And I just love doing it because I actually am a video editor. That's a little trivia for you.
Okay, well, you definitely didn't look like a novice based on that,
I appreciate that.
Whereas the music videos that I've actually done, I can't say that they, rise to the same level of yours, but it is fun, and it's a nice creative outlet. But it's amazing how much work goes into it. Right. I mean, even with all the technology that's out there now, it's a tremendous amount of work, I think, that still goes into a music video. So I can understand, when you look back to the glory days of MTV, anything like where you were probably looking at a 6-figure budget,
to produce
a music video. Nowadays, it's just like, nah, You know,
No, and the money is in as Chris, mixes. That's where the money is. We're talented musicians. We can record very fast,
right.
but the money's in the mix. The money is in the edits. Like that's where you put the time. And luckily, we have Chris doing that, and me and the editing side. But we probably put the same amount of hours in mixing and editing. It's tens, 20, 30, 100 hours
Easily,
of doing, going over and over and over and going through it. So I'm very fortunate that we're able to do this in the band, because at one point we were actually sitting here going, okay, so what are we going to do? Like, who's going to mix it? And we let some people mix it, and they weren't really capturing the band. And then I was a little scared, but I was like, hey man, I called Chris and go, would you want to mix Revolution? And he said yes, which I thought was great, because he has his own records that he's doing. And we got that mix, and I'm like, you want to mix the whole record? It was like that.
All of a sudden, I got the gig. Yeah.
It's like, you did it too good. You should have screwed the mix up, and we wouldn't ask.
Totally torpedoed it. Yeah. But to your point about the editing, audio is the same way, because you can sit there and I'll be working on it, and let's say like with Revolution, that didn't have little guitar that's going in there in the beginning, that kind of lo-fi guitar. I was like, this needs something to kind of sneak you into it, because if you're thinking metaphorically, revolutions, they always start like this, and then it goes and then it blows up.
Right.
So, all right, okay, how do we do that sonically? All right, let's make the guitar sounds come out of a telephone. Let's do this, let's do that, flash mob, boom, 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 and then bam, the song comes in. But it took a lot of like fudging and moving and doing all these little subtle things to get it where I liked it before I'd even show it to them, and then send it over. And they were like, okay, we like it. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Once he sends it over too, it's usually like, we know he likes it, because he usually tells us to put his seatbelts on or something like that. It's coming good. And any mix I listen to, I just start laughing. That's how I know it's good. Like right off the bat, because I hear everything that he adds. Yeah, you remember we've been working on this song for 30 years, so it's like, right. I know this song, right. And I'm still catching stuff. That's like funny. Because you listen to stuff and you're like, oh, sneaky. Because I think the art of it is not being so I'm here. It's what you put in there that makes it all massive. And Chris has an unbelievable knack for that. And I'm the band is very happy. I'm very happy. We're fortunate that we have that. And again, it saves tons of money. I mean, the two of the biggest expenses is going to be mixing and editing and all that stuff. And we got that covered. So that's going to be kind of cool. It makes it more fun. Yeah. Keeps it in-house.
Right. Right. So the band. All right. We're talking about Panic Boom, everybody. So are you guys, I mean, you've had so many other musical experiences with so many different bands. I mean, both of you have had, what I would call at least very illustrious music careers. You guys have been able to make a living in the music industry, Yep. Not a lot of people could say that. Not a lot of people, I mean, especially some great artists that are out there today, and they're struggling, It's so funny. Who was it? One of these newer bands. They've been around a while, but they're a newer band, Eva Under Fire. I don't know if you've heard of Eva Under Fire, but I love them. I think they're absolutely phenomenal. And I think it was the guitar player the other day came out and they got signed to a label and all, and he just wanted to make it very clear on social media. He's like, guys, don't be thinking just because we're out there on stage and we're touring and all this stuff that we have all kinds of money in the bank, because we are broke. I mean, it's not like what it used to be. Now, all that being said, is Panic Boom looking to really make a real go of this? Like your Saigon Kick Days, you guys going to be going out on tour? You looking at album number 2 already? I mean, you're going to be touring Europe and doing all that stuff? Is that in the plans?
There's definitely album number 2. We have enough for 2 albums for sure right now.
Right on.
So that's being done for sure. As far as the touring aspect of it, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with any touring? I got friends who are going out there and they have entire legs of it being just cut out right from under them, So, and like for what we're doing, I think most of our market would be Europe or Asia. And right now, you got Britain unlocking everything and Germany locking everything down. So, I mean, that's what's tough to explain to people is the expense of touring.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole lot of money. Imagine having a business. Let's say it's a dry cleaner, and you have to pick it up and close it down tonight, and you have to drive 200 miles away and open it again from the ground up every day. You have to do that every day for months at a time, and then try and make money. And these days, like you're saying, the majors are just not giving out tour support, so it's on the band to do that.
Right.
And look, I think Chris and I, we've been touring for our lives, basically 30 years. Last tour I did was with Jakey Lee and Red Dragon Cartel, and it killed me. I mean, that was a fun tour in a sense of playing wise, but I played 90 minutes a night. And as an older drummer, I was definitely shocked by things hurting. I didn't realize that they actually hurt, because when I was 24, 25, nothing hurts. And then you're doing drugs and you're numb and nothing hurts. And then all of a sudden I'm sober and out on the road going, this hurts. Drums are hard. Like, when did drums become hard? So Chris and I joke, because he has a friend. Is he a friend that did the Tupac hologram?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And he did the Dio hologram, and he did somebody else. It's Jeff Pizzuti with Illusion.
Yeah, so I think we should I asked Chris to order one of me and one of him.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just stay at home and let the kids go out and play.
That's fun.
So,
yeah, because you're a drummer, Phil, it almost reminds me of the Rocker. Yeah, dude, Fish, he's a little older and he's all sore, from all the jamming, like you said, it's not like being in your 20s anymore.
The naked guy?
Yeah, the naked drummer. And he would take an ice bath. Have you ever done that? Have you ever had to take an ice bath?
No. Although I did, when I went to rehab, one of the things was going to a Russian bathhouse, and you go into the steam room and then you jump into ice water.
Okay.
But it's not ice. There's not ice in it. It's just that you go from a steam room and then you shock your body. And that gets all the toxins out and makes you look like a Ken doll. But nonetheless, that's about as close as I got. I don't need that cold stuff. No. But yeah, that water was like wicked. And then you come out of a steam room, just the air alone is cold enough. Then you got to jump into a cold thing. Needless to say, you don't really want to do drugs after that. I think that was the whole point of it. I don't know, but it was not pleasant either way. But no, I have never taken an ice bath. I have used much Ben Gay. I've learned on the last tour with Jake, it was funny because our pre-show ritual was sharing Ben Gay, any type of wrist wraps, ankle,
icy hot.
Yeah, icy hot. I had 2 knee braces, and all my friends that were out on the road, like back in the old days, you'd have girls that come out and they're your friends and they bring you like food or cookies. Everybody brought me back patches, for my pain. It was just like my bunk looked like a pharmacy. I don't know what was going on in there. It was just, it was really funny. And if we were to tour, but I have to rethink that one about, getting into shape and all that stuff. But, I say, like Chris says, you never know what's going to happen. Never say never. If the band is that successful that warrants a tour, I think we can be, coaxed a little bit to do some shows. I'd love to play with these guys at least once on stage. My brothers, I want to play with them.
In a while, yeah. But I mean, nice. It's a very young business, and I think also people assume we're going to be the same guys they saw on stage, let's say 30 years ago in Milwaukee. Right. And you do your best to try and recreate that, but there's some things that you just don't even dare.
Yeah, right.
Because I've seen people who do dare and they really shouldn't. But they'll remain nameless. It's I mean, I think that's the reason Kiss works is they have makeup and costumes.
Yeah.
So they look like Kiss still.
Yeah, those guys are still pretty balls to the wall, though. I gotta say, man, Gene and Paul, the things those guys still do stage-wise. Right. I remember I went out to Chicago Open Air, one of those Danny Wimmer tour shows. I was out there a few years ago, and oh my God! And I guess happy birthday to Paul Stanley. He's 70 years old today. Yeah, Holy crap! Today. But
I played his 40th birthday party.
Did you?
Yep, as part of Cold Gin. Yep.
Wow.
All right. So Cold Gin did that. That's right.
That's right.
Wow.
Yep. So Gene hired us to play the party. So I can say I was one of those very select few that got paid money by Gene Simmons.
That's awesome.
To be him.
To be him. That's right.
And
I was
he
him.
didn't sue you, which was
Nope.
really good.
Nope, he hired us. Yep. So
That's awesome.
I watched him sign the check and I cashed him.
That's awesome.
It bounced.
Well, right. But those guys definitely have no fear of heights, because he's going across that dang zip line, I don't know how many feet in the air above everybody, like the whole length of the dang football field. And then Gene, for, I guess, God of Thunder, he's going way up into the rafters on those freaking cables. F that, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have done that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like that's
Everyone's got a grandpa that's 72 years old, and picture your grandpa doing that for his daily job.
72. Isn't that crazy? I mean, when I toured with Kiss back in 2000, we did 130 shows, and Gene turned 51 on that tour. And I was like, boy, this old bastard. And that was in 2000, and I'm 54 now. And I'm like, maybe he wasn't that old. He wasn't that old, but those guys, they put it on, man. Every night it was like balls to the wall for sure. Gene flying, Stanley's going across the arena. Peter had some really bad carpal back then, but you could never tell. They had the kit was triggered, and it was just a massive wall of sound, and it was just Gene always said, Gene Simmons said, people listen with their eyes. And I believe that wholeheartedly, because that show was something else, and every night it was mayhem. And as a Kiss fan, it's like, every night you get to see your posters come alive, your wall that was covered. Yeah. I mean, let me tell you something about Paul Stanley too. We used to have fun with those guys. We'd give Paul Stanley an envelope, me and Snake, that had a word in it, and Stanley would take it as he's going on stage, look at it, and have to incorporate it in the first rap, which was song 3. And we gave them we gave them whacked out words. Like one was catfish belly. One was diaper fight.
Diaper fight was my favorite.
Yeah. And Stanley he's the guy, and he made diaper fight not only fit into his rap, the place went crazy. I think it was something like, don't, be nice to the guy next to you because you don't want a diaper fight. It doesn't think.
That's so
I'm like,
funny,
he just
man.
used diaper fight. How does he do this? And like, oh, he's Paul Stanley. That's how he does it.
That's right. Because
He's such a nice
Paul
dude,
Stanley.
man. Paul Stanley,
Yeah.
he's such a nice guy. Did you guys know what an amazing painter he is? Did you guys know he was a painter?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Holy moly!
What great his party. I got to meet his mom and his dad.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool.
And they were so cool. And the tiny little people from New York City, and just like, did you see Stanley? He looks like he's really having a great time at the party. Oh, you boys are so fantastic. I'm just going, if you would have told me this shit when I bought Alive, I would have thought you were out of your mind and in the paint department huffing,
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It just goes to show that every mom, it doesn't
Oh, yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter. That's their boy. That's their son.
Yep.
Of course, she's proud. And I love that. That's and we talked about my mother last night. My mom was the same way. She was in the mosh pit at my shows. My mother. She was throwing down. That is a stocky Italian woman. You're gonna get near her in a mosh pit. First of all, her Urkel glasses or the fro would take you out right off the bat. But she would throw. She did not give a shit. She was throwing down, man. So I love moms that just are like, there's my boy. Oh yes, I love him.
Yeah, and it's funny because typically in bands, like the parents have this revered status, no matter whose parent it is. No matter what, the parents have revered status. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And it just shows you the support, because
That's
awesome.
you
need that love and support in that regard. I mean, think about what Kiss was trying to achieve back in the 70s when they came out. You got to have parents that understand this. Think about that concept. Listen, Mom, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to look like this. I'm wearing 7-inch heels. I mean, it's amazing that and I'm sure they were at every show. That's the way my parents were, and it was amazing support, and that I'm always be grateful for, because it's a tough business, man. It's a tough one. So no matter how old you are, too, I think and my parents are gone, both of them, but till the day they died. You still like your parent. You got to call your parent. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's like you do a show or you still go to the parents. You still need to hear it. It doesn't matter how famous you are or whatever. So that's very cool that Staley's parents were over there.
Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. Well, I know you guys got to get going here, and you're in different time zones. But one of the things I want to ask you about, just because obviously we've been talking about Panic Boom, we've covered a lot of what you have going on, but the documentary. I want to get back to this documentary. Is that something that is already done? You're still working on it? What is that all about? On it. Okay. Well,
COVID had a big impact on it, and that's why it's taken so long to do it. Because a lot of the stuff I still have to go fly somewhere and meet up with people to interview. For the most part, it's probably about 75% done, I would think. Okay. We just got to do the finishing stuff. And, with COVID, I'm not editing it, though. I'm not. My friend...
Is Chris editing it?
Right? I'm just going to take a shot. I don't know anything, but I'm willing to take a shot.
Why not? It'll probably be better.
I'll edit it for you, man.
Master it.
I'll do it.
Yeah. So I have my editing partner, Jeff.
Cool.
Who's brilliant, who's been working on it, and he's doing everything and putting it together as we speak. So I just keep on sending him footage. I'm lucky that I have everything in my career is documented. My mother took pictures of everything, even though I told her not to. So I'm very happy she did.
And I saw that happen more than once. Yeah.
Yes,
wow.
Yes.
What are you doing? Just wait a minute. Just move here, Chris. Move in. Move in.
Let me get that picture. Ma, you took 30 of them. I don't care, Philip. So
I got to make sure I have a safety.
Yeah, and that was the old school days when you took it to Eckerd Drugs, and it cost $20,000 to have them developed. But so basically, once I'm hoping to put the documentary out sometime this year. But again, there's no stress. It's kind of like when it's ready, it'll go. And in the meantime, with Panic Boom, we're just going to put singles out slowly. And enjoy that. And I have some songs that will be in the documentary that I'm releasing myself that I wrote, and that'll start happening. February 14th is when the first single's coming out. Okay. That's called Every Soul, and we're shooting a video for it right now. And I am editing that and shooting that. But nice. So you're gonna hear from us over the next months. We're doing the slow opening, the nice and easy. And see what happens.
But it's still going to be called 30 Years of Drummer. It's not going to have to become 35 Years of Drummer.
It's going to be like 30 crossed out, 32 year. No, it's going to be, although that is kind of funny. No, it's 30 years of Drummer. 30yearsofdrummer.com if the kids want to go over and read up on it. It's up and running, and you can see my timeline and everything, because I think everyone's given COVID a little chance here where you're like, okay, we're going to forget about that. So we'll reset at 30. We need more time on the clock. So, 30yearsofdrummer.com for that, and panicboomband.com is our hub that has everything. You can go from there. You can go to everybody's stuff, or our stuff, I should say, Bandcamp, YouTube, all the streaming as well. Right on. We'll be there. We're putting all our interviews up there. I'm going to be updating everything, and so the fans will have Panic Boom all day long, whatever they like.
Right on. You guys got any merch? You guys got some merch? I know that always helps out the band's efforts.
Not yet.
No?
Yeah, we have a brilliant artist though that we're gonna. Yeah, he's amazing. So we're gonna be contacting him and see if we can get some designs going for sure.
All right, very cool. Well, I know I am very excited.
If you like, I can give you a sneak peek of the next single.
Okay, all right, everybody, exclusive right here. Next single from Panic Boom
on the phone. So high tech.
Here we go. You got to work on them drum tracks, man.
Wait, hold on a second. This, for the record, that's more than I've ever heard. So that's how special you are.
Oh,
see
you know what I'm saying?
That's awesome, man. That's almost as good as Ted Nugent playing Stranglehold for me a few weeks ago, man.
I was just on a podcast with Uncle Ted.
Were you?
That's with him. Yeah, he played guitar to Revolution.
Yeah, he did. I guess he jumped on and played a bit. So yeah. Again, if you go back in time and you follow Chris to Conley's department store in Mount Vernon, Ohio, as he's buying free for all, and you go, oh, by the way, kid, in about 30 years, Ted Nugent is going to play on something you did. And you'd be like, sure. Aren't you the same one that was telling about the Kiss stuff a minute ago? You know,
Dude, it's amazing.
He
play, and every time he picks up his guitar, he sounds like Ted Nugent, and I love it. It doesn't matter. It's like his sound. He plays. I love the dude.
I'm going hunting with him next year. He is the man.
Are you really?
I definitely am. Yes.
On his property?
Yes.
What are you gonna hunt for?
I'm gonna go on the campfire. I'm gonna go get me a buck, man. Get me a big one.
Hey, can you find my career while you're there? While you're hunting? What am I crazy? Let me see.
Come with me, man. Come with me.
That's pretty rad. Are you
gonna
go
together?
To hang with Ted.
You gonna clean and dress it as well?
Oh yeah. I've been hunting since I was 13 years old.
Oh, I got you.
And you're going with the bow and arrow, or the.
I'm working on that. I actually got my youngest son. I got him a bow for Christmas. I got him not a compound bow though. I got him a recurve bow. So we're going old school, man.
And that's what I like about Ted, because he goes old school on it. You know, that's the way he goes. So that's something.
He's the spirit. We all got to go. Chris, you're coming too. You're coming with.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Fun just for the story. Hell, we could write some songs too while we're there. You never know.
It's true. They'll all be an A, but we'll write them.
You could wind up with a full album with Ted Nugent, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, seriously.
Hey, listen,
do you think I get Ted down here to surf? Do you think I could get Ted down here to surf here in South Carolina? Think I could get him on a board?
Well, I'd like to see that. That would be fun.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Phil,
I think he would.
Phil, Chris, guys,
or at least put a deer on the surfboard so we could shoot it. What am I crazy?
Yeah, right on. But guys, thank you so much for joining me on Rock Titan. It's been awesome talking to you. And again, everybody, Panic Boom. Panic Boom, all right?
PanicBoomBand.com.
Right on. Okay, well, everybody, I'm Scotty J. You are watching Rock Titan Live. We're out.
Peace out.